So traders, I've had a lot of interest obviously in the video that was a spontaneous, literally within 2 hours or an hour of chat GPT-4 coming out. I did a video on the very first thing that I attempted to do. So, and there's been a lot of comments in that section. I'll go through some of those in a moment. I wanted to do this video to respond to some of those. And also I want to repeat the experiment. This is kind of crucial because for those of you who really were excited about it, I apologize that there has been a lag in me coming back to you. I have a lot of plates spinning at the moment. That's not a brag. It's an issue that I'm trying to deal with. I just have too much going on at the moment that I really need to get that under control. And you know, the most common comment that came in the comment section that was there was that, well, when anyone else tried to do it, there were errors, okay? And I didn't have them. So I didn't have them before I recorded it, and when I did it live, when I recorded that video, I didn't have any errors. And then after that, I also got errors. So what I want to do now is I'm going to do a couple of things very quickly. I'm going to do it in chat. I'm going to do it in version 3.5. I'm going to do it in version 4. I want to see what the differences are. I'm going to see if we get any errors. And I want to respond to some of the comments there. And so really this is kind of a part 2 to that first one, just to see if that helps. Also, by the way, very important, I would add that the exact code that I used that worked is available in the comment section. So a lot of people have said, can you please send me the code? I have. It is pasted in other people asking the same question. It is pasted in that. So please, if you do have that question, you watch the video, please look into other people asking the same question. I've pasted that exact code. As you see, the one that comes out on screen that works, I've pasted it about 3 or 4 times. So it is definitely in the comment section there as well. Okay, so I think without further ado, let's kick off and have a look at what I did. So the first thing is I'm going to do it in chat 3.5. I have copied exactly the comments. You can check it against the video. This is exactly what was put in it. The only thing I've done here is I want to give it a different name so that we can distinguish today's video's indicator from anything else. And this is what I have said. So this was the first part that I put in, and then after that I updated it amended it with this. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to just put this into 3.5 because let's find out I find one of the things that I've used version 4 since, I find that it tends to overthink things a lot. Obviously that's part of its nature, but I want to see, and whereas 3.5 is kind of raw and it tends to just give you what you want. So first thing I'm going to do here, this is a brand new chat. So there's no previous history, nothing else that could influence its thinking. And let's just see what happens. Okay, cool. So the first thing I want to do here is see if this works. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, wait till it's done. And then I'm going to copy it. So it seems to be not finished yet. Is it? This is annoying when it does this. It does that sometimes. Does anyone else have this issue? Because I don't know if OpenAI are aware of this, but yeah, I need to get to the finished part there. Okay, so let me go ahead. I'm going to copy all of this and put it into an indicator, which I'll do in a moment. It occurred to me that if you're watching this for the first time, you want to see all the steps I do. So I'll just go through and let's just say, for example, I want to go to the MetaQuotes language editor. Let's just move the recording button over here to the right. We've got a whole lot of stuff here. So let's just get rid of all of this. I don't want to waste your time with too much fluff in the video, but let's go through. And so I want to create a new indicator, custom indicator. So all I've done is I have a folder. I want to keep this in now, and I've called it TSI, which was, if you look on the original description, I'm just going to call it Trend Entry Signal Indicator, just to separate it. And I've called this one 3.5, so that will be for that one. I'm going to go ahead and just go through to the next part here. Not a worry on any of this kind of stuff here. So just finish it, get to this particular place, and then start to copy and paste in the code. Let's just go through to here. Replace that one and just hit paste. Okay, which goes back, that matches it, should be fine. Then paste the remaining section, which should just fit in here. Okay, obviously that wasn't really what I was going for, so let's get rid of that and put that there. So that should be it. Oof, there we go, it really did take it all in. And let's get rid of that. Okay, so let's clean up that stuff. Okay, so let's see what happens. Let's compile it. 3 errors. Let's have a look at those unexpected tokens. So that's just stuff that shouldn't be in there. Let me go through and remove that. Should be something that is not meant to be in here. Here we go. So line 81 doesn't look right. Let's just see. Let's try it again. Okay, compiled, no error. So there was just a pasting issue. Let's see what it looks like. Let's go across to the platform. What I can do, remember, you don't have to restart the platform. Most people don't know this. You can just refresh it. Go to the test indicators here, and I have this one. Let's find out if it works. Don't know. So let's see. Inputs, colors, okay. And I don't see anything just yet. I'll restart it. Let's see if anything happens. Okay, so I'm getting an array out of range issue over here. So, okay, that's fine. Possibly line 60 and 31. I'll have a look at those, okay? So I'm just going to ask MT4, I'm going to ask ChatGPT for that. Let's see what happens. Typically means the array used in the indicator calculations are not properly blah, blah, blah. To resolve this issue, adjusting the bars in chart setting in MT4 to increase the number of ones. Okay, cool. So let's go back and have a look at that. So presumably go through to my options here, and I usually do keep them relatively low. So we're going to make it 10,000. All right, we'll do that. Just to see that, we'll refresh the chart, see if that does anything. I can also go and see if there's any more history I need to do. There we go. We should be okay with that. Should be fine. And let's see if we still get that issue. Let's remove and add the indicator again. So didn't have this issue before. Everything else should be fine. I'm trying to recreate those exact same things. Still getting this one as well, daily. Anything else on lower time frames shouldn't be a problem. Okay, I'll restart it again and see what happens. Okay, so I don't think that's the issue. So what I'm going to do here is say, please can you update the code to check for this. Okay, because that's the other thing it says here is you can add checks to ensure that the necessary array elements. So this was a ball that I had not experienced before. So it's just a weird fluke that first time I did it, there weren't any issues. And I want to go through it now. But again, I don't want the video to be so long that it just balls the hell out of you. I want to show as much of the process as possible and see if we come right on this one. And this is doing with 3.5. Okay, so gone and I've literally just pasted it in. No errors. All right, so let's go back to the platform and refresh it. And let's try adding that indicator again. So I'm just going to remove it in case it is here. Let's just try that again. No. Okay. It's interesting because obviously one of the exercises I could do then is go compare the code that it's given me this time to the code that I got last time and then go look for the differences. But I feel like it would be a more useful thing to try to get it to produce the code. I'll tell you what I'm going to do now. Okay, let's just go straight to ChatGPT version 4. Let's produce that indicator, see how that goes. All right. And I realized what I didn't do was even ask it to update the stuff as well. So let's go ahead, let's do that all. So what we're going to do is let's go ahead and create this in a brand new conversation. Let's paste this in. All right. And let's see what happens. Because then it would be interesting if this one does work, if that's the case. All right. While that's doing that, I'm going to go here back to the meta editor. I'm going to create a new one. Excuse me, and I'm going to create a new one that goes through this, and I'm going to put the same details in there. So TSI 4.0 indicator, go through, same thing again. Okay, and let's go back and let's see how we're doing. And of course, it still wants to go. Okay, so sometimes I find that if I have ChatGPT going and then I move away to another task, it kind of stumbles. It's almost as though it loses focus. And it could be because I'm using Chrome. And Chrome tends to be sensitive as to which tab you're using, and it tries to optimize memory and activity and so on. So I'm going to stop this and do it again. Okay. Just do it again. The other thing that I find, okay, yeah, it's fine. You generate this. That I find is you have to imagine you're having a conversation with Someone, you're just going to keep doing this to me? Okay, let's try it again. Okay. Okay, so I refresh the browser window. Let's try it again. So we'll do normal one. And I realize I could also use it to browse with Bing, which is a new one, which they might check for the latest version of MQL code. Just bear with me. You know, there's possibly coders watching this going, what is going on? But I'm trying to do it sort of from a layman's perspective. So let's just see if I can get this to respond as is. I might have to break it down into two separate commands. Let's just do that, just for the sake of consistency. Let's do this. Okay, blip, blip, blip. I'll pause while we wait for it to do its thing. Okay, cool, okay. Then I'm gonna add this part, so that's it doing that part. Let's do this, let it do its thing. Okay. As in, sometimes I say that because I'm like, yeah, what do you need from me? Just do it, you know. It's possible to get a bit impatient sometimes when, you know, GPT tends to want to have a conversation with you instead of just doing what you've asked it to do. And of course, you've got to be really polite because in case there is like an AI uprising and we do get a whole kind of sort of Cyberdyne overthrow, I want to make sure I'm very polite and that they're not going to come after me after that one. Okay, so that appears to be very interesting. It's a smaller amount of code. Almost too good to be true. Almost too good to be true. So let's try this. We'll do a version here. We'll go into the library and we will do this. So I'm just going to replace that, put that in. It just seems too good. It's too little code. Let's compile, see what happens. No errors, done. Now let's see if it works. So again, just refresh. There it is. There's the indicator. Let's get rid of the other one. This is such a weird kind of thing to have to go through that. Colors, common, okay, doesn't give me anything else. And there's no issues or errors over here. That's interesting. All right, let's see where they are. Ah, there we go. So there's a couple there, but they're red. They're the wrong color. So you can see there's a couple of arrows here. I hope you can. Let's switch it to a line, then you can see the arrows over there. There's some green. That red arrow should be selling, not buying. So it's no compilation errors. So I think that's worth noting, but it hasn't got it right. It hasn't got it exactly right. So that's very interesting. So because I can't cheat now, I can't go back and say, well, can you compare the two lots of code and why is this one different? I want it to produce the same type of thing that it did. But anyway, so let's do that. Let's have a look at a couple of others. So let's go to the daily, see what comes up here. If there's any in this area, so just switch that off. I'm not seeing any really. Okay, go down to that 4 hour, they're there. But those are sell options, the arrows are just pointing up. And these are buy options, which is okay. Just, it seems inconsistent. So that would be a sell order. Okay, all right, but it seems to be kind of working. I could replace the arrows with dots, or I could ask it to make sure that the arrows are pointing down, which to be fair, I never asked it to do. So the other thing I wanted to add to this is it's almost as though you're having a conversation with a human. And if you ask them one day to do stuff, they'll give you, if they're in the right mood or they're in the zone, they'll give you the right kind of feedback. You ask them a week later, they might give you a slightly different answer because it's almost conversational in the way that they do it. But this does appear to be working. So the point of this video was to see what version 3.5 did, what version 4 did. Did it give me the compilation errors? No, it didn't. I'm going to put the exact stuff that I wrote in the comment section, and I will paste the code from the last video in the comment section as well. And then I would love to hear your feedback. And I think there should be a series of videos about this, and I will try to do the next one relatively quickly. But I hope that this helped clarify the process a bit and just give me some feedback, good or bad, on the video, what your thoughts are. All right.